Okay, so here are string beans. I have many string beans ready to be harvested. Here is moringa. This is what the moringa should all be looking like. All of them should be looking like this. And they should have been looking like this a long time ago. Very quickly they should have, but they weren't. I'm surprised this one is even doing the damn thing because it was attacked by a cabbage moth. Just one, but it decimated the whole thing. Maybe that gave it the stress to come back and do what it needs to do, but this is what they've actually been doing. I don't know what that is. But yeah, that's what it's supposed to do. I feel like it's maybe that tropical thing where they do like mild temperatures, and contrary to the heat that everyone assumes that it thrives in, not that it doesn't, and not that it can't survive and do well in heat, but I think it prefers those tropical temperatures, which are rarely discussed as actually mild, and in some cases cool when the breeze is right. I need to come water these. I just planted these two. This is Kimberly's baby. Doing so well. Again, let me find out tomatoes prefer smaller pots. This has fruit on it. The pot is teeny. And I don't know that, this, but the one in the this big ass pot, it struggled. It gave me one tomato so far, and now it has a few more growing. Purple tree collards. These are cuttings, and these are the tip cuttings. Anyway, those are my cukes. Told you, my privy cukes doing amazing things. Skipped over my lamb's quarter right here that I cut off, and I put 4 plants in this pot here with Amara. And Amara I topped off earlier in the season at about 2.5 feet or so, and so she has grown. She has bushed out and gave me several stalks, because I was wondering about her. If you know Amara like I know her, she grows in one thick tree stalk, and then she flowers at the top of it. Like, she has all her big beautiful plants at the top, and then she flowers at the top of it. But when I didn't want this to grow past those evergreens, and consider it's on the table already, so these things grow to be 8 feet tall sometimes. So I chopped her off at 2.5 feet and let her bush out so she could frame this table of plant work and the evergreen. Anyway, so here are also 2 other purple tree collards that I stuck in here just because I don't have the guts. I don't have the guts to throw them away. Like these leaves right here, they probably should be tossed. You know what I mean? What am I going to eat those? You know what I mean? You know what? I'm going to do it. Toss them. I'm going to toss all of these collard greens. There could probably be a little small side dish for some hungry person. And I'm being all disrespectful. I just really, I don't like that. But I'm going to do it. I want to be organized. Because the older you get, you can't bend over and lift and turn and move things like you could. So things need to be in their place. Anyway, this is Joshare. She's happy. Ooh. Oh, okay. Okay. So I think that's another flower. Remember I cut that branch off with the flowers on it? So maybe we will get to taste her fruit this year. And I was going to chop that whole branch up there off. Anyway, I'm excited because we have found us another, what I believe to be another flower bloom. We'll know for sure. That branch won't be hard to pick out because it's the only little one up there. Here's Poppy, more string beans. I keep trying not to call them, I know nobody calls them string beans anymore, but I'm going to keep that in my repertoire because the ancestors want me to. Green beans are a lot of things. These are string beans. And they're gonna be string beans. Okay. So anyway, back over here, Kimberly, she has a few more fruit on her. Just a few. This is the elder of them. More string beans. I have these 4 plants in this planter bed to keep the soil nourished. My carrots are doing very well around the perimeter of this planter. We did eat the carrots. We did taste the carrot greens the other night. So I want to say it was a fail, but it wasn't a fail because it's only a fail if you don't get to do it, right? If you don't get to do it and taste it. I know my carrots, at least a couple of my carrots are ready. And how I know is, look at that. That is beautiful. With us tasting the carrot greens for the first time, I thought it would also be a good opportunity for me to contribute to my control testing. Let's go move the water. So anyway, I was at my carrots, right? My carrots are doing very well. A few of them will be ready to pull up as needed. You know, I'm going to go ahead and use Mother Nature for storage. And so in the process of eating those greens, what I did was came and I cut the outer greens because I wanted to see if it would work like cut and come again, and it seems that it does. So I think that pruning the thicker outer branches of my carrots promoted more inner growth, which I believe is going to make my carrots bigger, which is why I'm not going to harvest this even though it's ready. I'm looking at this new growth that came after I trimmed the outer leaves, and I'm going to see if that's not indeed making my carrots larger, hence giving me more food. Because even if I don't use it in that way, to know that you have the capacity to use it in that way can be very beneficial in trying times. It'll be information that you know that other people don't know. They can't figure out how do you get these little, supposed to be finger carrots. These aren't finger carrots, these are regular carrots. But anyway, but you know, for somebody could have finger carrots and be able to train them in such a way because they know these things, this ancestral common logic being shared with us, whether we choose to listen or not. And you know, my original test was to find out if there was a general tried and true way to determine when your carrots were ready. But in the process, Goddess teaches us so many other things, doesn't she? I'm here for it. I did spot a grasshopper in this corner earlier. Y'all know what happened. My salad greens aren't doing much of anything. It always takes more to move the water than I expected to. Anywho, more string beans here. It's going to be time to harvest those daily at this point. That is by no means a complaint. In fact, I would not be mad if I had double. Hence me actually growing double the crop that I grew last year. Hence me considering doubling that again. With what space, I don't know. But yeah, I'm just telling you what I was considering. I have my couple of collards here. These 2 babies are coming along. 3 babies actually. I have one here, one here. And this one I'm going to eventually move somewhere. This is Sunny. It's just getting hot, so. This is Sunny. She's giving me a couple of things to snack on here and there. And I really do like snacking on her. I think I lied when I told y'all I was not going to grow her next year, because I really love the way she tastes right off the plant. More green beans, a lot of which are ready. Purple sprout and broccoli. Actually got a little purple sprout down there. Finally. And they've been leaving the leaves alone, kinda, sorta. Verbena being great. She got some babies I need to water. Just share. Doing what she do. I'm ready for this first bunch to ripen so I can enjoy it. It's time for harvest of Callaloo, harvest all these side shoots. I think I told you guys I was doing an experiment to see if the way you harvest your callaloo can have an effect on how you get them to grow. And there is. I was inspired to do more testing after trying amaranth this year. So I'm going to be doing a video on that. I'm going to give everything its own video this year. And I'm really going to sit down and do it. Even if I have to sit down and do it in the winter time. And I don't want that to be the case, but because I want to be able to show you the plants as I discuss them. No, come back over here. Come back over here. You're so bad. You're so bad. Bring your ass. It's filling up nicely in here. I actually even want to fill the bare spaces in. I was starting to put some spinach in there, but I might just put more callaloo. I might take some of these side branches and put them in the ground next to. No, I won't, because look how they're filling up already. No, I won't. But I am going to come in. I'm going to take all of these side branches off. I want you to see this. Well, maybe I will discuss this just now because I might not have this comparison, right? So when these were growing up, I saw that these little side branches were sparse, but in the top, so full. The tops were so full. I was trying to see if I had these over here, but I cut these tops off too. Cut them off too. But yeah, the tops were so full. You saw in my harvest and prep video. And so it occurred to me, well, maybe if I just do well to harvest the side branches as it grows, and then when I'm harvesting from the top, just harvests the largest side leaves, letting the new coming leaves get larger to harvest like that. And I think that might also help it to stagnate, because I think that's why these side branches, see how how large these leaves are in comparison to these, because it has more branches and sprouts, and this has it's still on its single, like okra. You know how people harvest okra, how they prune it as they harvest, just like that, except at the top only take the largest branches, and on the underneath take like the whole side shoots. That's what I'm gonna do. I think I did plant a few sugar beets. I'm gonna let them pop up where they may. I know what weeds are and what they look like, so I'll pull the weeds like this. It's a mulberry tree, y'all. So many mulberries. The birds just plant them everywhere. Look at that. Whole batch of mulberry trees. Shout out to Mister for the leaf mulch soil. That is easy to. It makes it easy to pull weeds by the whole ass root. Over here, I've watered over here already. We have lots of string beans again. These are my kahunas. I grew a larger variety out here this year, since this is a larger bed and I want more food to be able to share with more of the family. I kind of harvested all of the outer leaves of the red chard because I left a couple of big ones on this one because it was protected by Kimberly. But I harvested those because the hailstorm really did a number on them. And it's fine. I don't know next time if well, it's not a big deal because it's specific to hail. Rain is not going to do the same damage that was done yesterday with the hail. So it destroyed a lot of the larger greens. Viola, this is that large one that I wanted to get to grow everywhere. This is a pale one that I want to get rid of, and it might not be pale. They might be the same doggone variety as I can't imagine they wouldn't be, because they only seeded themselves. I didn't get no brand new viola seeds from somebody's whole other garden. So, you know, seeded themselves. But, you know, the reality is those are big, giant blooms for some of these branches, whereas other branches are small. I don't know what the dealio, but it is. Here's some more carrots, and they don't look like they might would be ready because pick those branches up. When I water like I do, sometimes it waters those branches into the ground next to it. That can't be good for the carrot, so I'm just taking Spider-Man and lifting up any branches that may have been glued into the ground with the water. I need to keep it in mind to do that every time. I topped off my verbena so it can start branching out, and this can be the main stem. I'm not going to strip those leaves off until these branches start coming out, because then I'll start getting branches everywhere at the bottom, and that's the whole point, is to have this main stem and then have it branch out like a martini glass. Well, not like a martini, because eventually it's going to get so long they fall over, but I just want this to hold the whole plant up. I'm whipping my okra and taking off these bottom branches, even when there is nothing there. You get a whooping. You get a whooping. You get a whooping. You get a whooping. So yeah, lifting up these branches out of the soil. This is my sugar beet, purple tree collard, and this was too. This one didn't make it. Did it make it? Did you make it? You didn't make it? Oh, I didn't make it. So on either side of the sugar beet, I had a purple tree collard. I'm gonna put 2 more back here. It ain't happy. It didn't do well. I have so many string beans ready, and these are kahuna. So I'm gonna go ahead and start calling her by her name. Our string beans are kahunas, because the kahunas are here and the tenderettes are on the deck, but I'm gonna call them all kahunas. They said they get 7 to 11 inches long, and they do. I'm so excited. More food for more people. Excuse me, more food for more family. Give this another round. And give my tomato another round too. Man, it puddled up down there. So here's my melon. I put a vegetable bag over it to keep the critters from messing with it, because I believe they bit these flowers off. This vine was longer and had flowers on it, and I believe they came over and topped them off, ate them. I'm pretty sure.